what investment? A house doesn't even get you $7,000 back a month.
What's the fine print?
I don't care if it's resale, pre-sale, a house, a townhouse, a condo, a shack, land. Nothing is going to return you positive cash flow from day one.
Maybe a shack.
Not even a shack. All right.
And a couple people came in and they're like, well, how do we know that you guys are starting?
There's a lot of people right now that have their deposits tied up in projects.
Yes.
And have been waiting years for that project to start, and they haven't even dug ground yet.
Yeah.
Or they haven't even gotten construction financing yet because they haven't sold enough.
Yeah.
No other developers copying us yet.
Yeah.
But usually, every time you heard a promo, the very next day,
right away,
another developer is trying to do it. Whereas no one's been able to even come close. You're going to make 16 to 18% return every year for those 2 years. Yeah.
People see it and they're like, what? A developer's going to buy a unit back? What's the catch?
For today, what I really want to go over is just kind of all the questions you've been getting from realtors about the Allure Promise, right? All the things that people should know about it, all the things that people maybe have been misinformed about it or don't quite understand it. Really just so we can go through an explainer and people can get that this is not a bait and switch. This is not oh, we're going to promise you this, and then you come into the presentation center and it's something completely different.
Yeah.
So honestly, Harlene, what kind of questions have you been getting from your realtors and from the people walking in or calling you about it?
I think the big one is what's the catch? And that's the funniest one because I say, hey, like there's no catch. And for me, it's a little bit harder because they're like, well, you're the developer, so you're going to say there's no catch.
Yeah.
Like, tell us what the truth is. I said, no, the only catch is I'm only doing it for a limited amount of units.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm being very transparent. At the end of the day, I can't afford to do it for the whole building. So you're correct. It doesn't make sense. But for 20 units, 30 units, whatever we want to call our limit, that's what it's for. And
we're not limiting the type of units. We're saying it's applicable to everything.
Yes.
We're just limiting it to 30,000 square feet before we start increasing our prices.
Yeah, they just don't believe it. They're like, no, there's something. I was like, no, you can sign all 3 contracts today. You can read all the contracts. Everything's in there. They're like, how'd you guys figure this out? I said, it's just months and months of stuff that a lot of people worked on, just underwritten, legal stuff, sales pitches. Everyone just, it's just hard. But we figured it out to help the clients see what we can help them do instead of realtors and developers. So
you have to know that the value is going to be there for the community you're selling.
Yeah.
Right? We can't just apply this to any building, any project, anywhere. We have to have confidence not only in the valuation of the unit, but in the potential rental return of it to be able to offer our Allure Promise.
Yeah,
right?
no, for
and
sure.
so a lot of work went into making sure Skyliving was the right project for this. It was in the right location. We're going to sell it for the right price where it mitigates the risk on everybody's part. So I think that's the big thing. And you see that really because no other developers copying us yet.
Yeah.
But usually every time you heard a promo, the very next day,
right away,
another developer is trying to do it. Whereas no one's been able to even come close because we are so community and project specific for this offering.
Yeah, for sure. I think all the developers are trying to figure it out. How are you doing it?
Yeah.
But I think this time it was literally like the team sat down and trying to help clients out. Just not like a risk for just them. Like we're putting basically our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely. Standing beside them. So run me through when you tell people about the Allure Promise. I'm going to put you on the hot seat right now.
Oh, God.
Tell me what the Allure Promise is succinctly if you're going to give like the elevator pitch.
All right. Well, when someone walks in, I'll say, hey, the hook of it is always the buyback.
Yep.
People see it and they're like, what? A developer's going to buy a unit back? What's the catch? So they come in, we'll talk about it quickly, but I say, hey, in my opinion, that's not what I'm going to sell you today. And they're like, what do you mean? Buyback. What's better than a buyback? I said, the rental program. What do you mean, the 20%? Oh, yeah, I didn't really get it. What do you mean you didn't get it? I said, all right, let me just do a quick calculation. $750, so about a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You're getting about $6,250 back a month. And they just look at me like, no, you're lying. No, I'm being dead serious. Let me do the calculation for you. And then I said, well, a 2-bedroom in this area is max going for about $2,800, $3,000. They're like, how are you doing that? No, what's the fine print? I said, there's no fine print. And they're like, okay, so what if we can't decide today? I said, that's fine. You can sign all 3 contracts today. We'll reach out to you 9 months before and you can decide then. Wait, so I don't have to decide today? Are you sure I'm not going to lose the promo? I said, no. We're literally going to let you decide. And at that time, the market's so good and you're like, hey, I don't even want any of this. then we'll just void all those contracts. They're like, no way. And they're like, okay. So show us the prices. That's the first thing that they say. And then we say, hey, like we said, our prices are still gonna hit the average of whatever, $11.25, $11.50. We're not dropping our square foot price. We believe in the project, we believe in the city, and we just believe that it's gonna flourish in the next 3 years. People have seen downtown Surrey, you can call it now, I guess, grow so much in 3 years. And they're like, I was like, what do you think it's gonna be in the next 3 years? What do you think it's gonna be in the next 10 years?
And that's the beauty about the Allure Promise is it turns a time horizon for an investor. Because think about it, like all of a sudden now you're buying an investment that you know is going to sustain itself. No other investment in the Lower Mainland you can buy with just 20% down, the debt services.
Yeah.
That actually puts money in your pocket from day one.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't care if it's resale, pre-sale, a house, a townhouse, a condo, a shack, land, nothing is gonna return you positive cash flow from day one.
Maybe a shack though.
Not even a shack. All right? $1 million shack and you're renting it for $800 a month, it's not gonna cash flow. And so you look at that, and that actually extends the time horizon. It's gonna take us 3 years to build the building. It'll be ready in summer of 2028, right? And then you get another 2 years positive cash flow. Yep. And then if you're smart and you save that $2,000 a month you're putting in your pocket, because that's what the math works out to on a 2-bed, 2-bath, you're making $2,100 a month more than all your costs combined. Management fees, strata fees, mortgage, taxes, all of it.
Everything, yeah.
All right? Yeah. And you're still putting $2,100 in your pocket. And if you're smart, you save that for 2 years, okay? That's $48,000 positive cash flow. You haven't paid a penny to maintain it. You've had 5 years of equity appreciation. Then you take that and you subsidize another 2 years of rent if you're smart on your own. Now you've almost got an 8-year investment. I don't know a single realtor, a single economist that is going to tell you in 8 years real estate is not going to go up in the Lower Mainland. That's an 8-year-long investment.
Yeah, people were if they don't believe that aspect of it, I said, okay, if you want
to, they're not buyers.
Yeah,
they're not interested. If you don't think the market is going to not only sustain itself but grow in an area where you've got UBC, SFU, and KPU all within walking distance.
Yeah.
You've got a SkyTrain that connects the entire Lower Mainland. You've got Surrey Memorial, which is a teaching hospital. You've got the Lark Group building 3, 4, 5 mid-rises that are all technology and medical based, all within walking distance. If you don't think that alone is going to increase the value, then you're not a buyer in this market.
Yeah, I think that's what people are trying to figure out. Well, I can't convince my client to come in. Like the realtors, I said, it's not for the clients that you have to convince. It's for the clients that already have the money, that are investors or want to be first-time investors, and you just pitch them this. I said, if they want to sell it in 2 years, it's perfect because then you avoid most of the flipping tax, or actually all of it, the 24-month mark.
Yeah.
So we're covering you for the 24-month period that you could be charged a flipping tax.
Not a surprise it's 24 months and
right?
not 12 and not 38, right?
How convenient.
It's almost like we thought about this.
Yeah, I know. How convenient. But like I was telling one of the realtors, I said, if I was buying the unit, I would buy it. At the 21st month, I would tell the rental company, hey, let my tenant know that I'm selling the property. So I got that 3 months covered. And the 24th month, I would sell my property. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, it'll work out. Might have to do maybe a month or 2 here, but that's my plan. And they're like, so are you getting one in here? I said, not right now, just because I got other investments to do, but I would have if I had to.
I think the offering is phenomenal. Like you said, I think anybody who is looking to buy a presale right now, one, can't beat the location that we have. Two, we're known for building great product. We have no upgrades. Everything is included in our units.
Yeah,
right?
Just pick the color.
Yeah. And three, the offering. Like the offering is unheard of.
Yeah.
And somebody was actually pointing this out yesterday. They're like, this is like Dubai. Like this is the kind of stuff you get in Dubai. You go buy a unit in Dubai.
Yeah.
And it'll be ready in 3-4 years. And then they're like, we'll take care of it for the next 2. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to make this much ROI guaranteed. They break it down and they send it off. And we've never seen this kind of offering in Canada. In fact, I've done the numbers because I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to numbers. When you look at the ROI, so return on investment, let's say you're buying a $750,000 condo, okay, 2-bed, 2-bath. You're having to put $150,000 down. That's your 20%.
Yep.
Okay, that's capital outlay out of your pocket in 3 years when the project's ready. On that 150K, you're going to make 16 to 18% return every year for those 2 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even do that calculation. That's a
Okay?
lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Backed by real estate,
Yes.
backed by an asset that's appreciating in a brand new building,
Yeah.
right? Just from a cash flow perspective,
Yeah.
that return is better than what you're getting in stocks without the risk
Yes.
of the stocks and the volatility of it. Definitely better than you putting your money in a GIC,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
right? Or anything like that. And so it for the investors that sit down, like you said, I mean, the buyback gets them through the door.
Yeah.
That's what they get excited about. And then when they do the math on the rent back, that's what gets them to sign up. That's what we had a wicked weekend this weekend. It gets people to be like, this makes total sense.
Yeah. Even our one of our bigger plans, our 05 plans, they weren't moving before because they're just too big. And now I noticed this weekend there's a lot of people that were going that way. The 05, yes, they're priced a little bit higher because they're bigger, but they do the calculation and they're saying, hey, I get $7,000 back.
$7,000. What investment? A house doesn't even get you $7,000 back a month.
$7,000 back a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And I said, the general public is just looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They're not looking at the square footage.
Yeah.
So if you're renting it out, sure.
So how does that work? So run us for the skeptical ones that are like, how are you guys doing this? What's the logistics? What's the catch? Give us some of the fine print. What's the fine print for the rent back and the buyback?
They're both 90 days, so easy to remember. 90 days, we have up to 90 days to either buy it back from you after you complete, or we have 90-day period for the rental company, external company that we hire, for them to rent it out. If they don't find anything between that 90 days, the 91st date, your 24 months will kick in, whether it's tenanted or it's not tenanted.
So you mean the rental starts on that 90th day mark if they don't find a tenant by then?
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so it could take them 6 months to find a tenant. It doesn't matter. On that 91-day mark, you're getting your guaranteed return back every month for the next 24 months.
Yep.
What if, let's say, they find a tenant in week 2?
Yeah.
Does it start in week 2?
Yeah, starts right when the tenant started.
All right. And then what if like 7 months later, 8 months later, the tenant leaves?
It's still gonna come to you. The rental company will kick them out or leave if they leave, and then they will replace it with a new person. If not, you'll still get the payments because your 24 months have already started.
So if the tenant leaves, doesn't pay their month rent or whatever, they're still getting that $6,000, let's say $250 a month every month.
Yep, without worrying about anything because the external company we're hiring is also managing it. So
amazing.
yeah.
All right. What about the buyback? 90 days. You guys have 90 days to find a buyer to buy it back. What if in that 90 days you find a buyer, but they're only willing to pay $50,000 less than what somebody bought it for? Then what?
We would still pay for the purchase price.
The full purchase price on the contract.
Yes.
And what if on day 91 you still haven't found somebody?
Then just buy back
For the full purchase price.
for the full purchase price. Yeah. Whatever's on that contract.
And that's in writing at the time they sign the contract.
Yep. Yeah.
In fact, you know what I love? I love that usually when you see like, have you ever done like, I've seen the brick ones where it's like, oh yeah, no interest, no penalty, no fees for like 12 months. And then you get the agreement and it's like 15 pages of legal,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
This
In
is
like,
what, 2 pages?
in like type 8 font and it's
Yeah.
all you need a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-3 page agreement.
Yeah. Very clear. All questions are there. When someone comes in, we will go through both contracts with you, all 3 technically. So people that are coming in that are the investors that we're targeting, don't even actually look at the buyback. They're like, doesn't make sense. We want the rental no matter what.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we don't want to sell to anybody who's thinking that they're not going to complete.
Yeah.
Like the goal is the buyback is just if your circumstances change, if your life changes, if something happens unforeseen, you've got that safety net. But really, you're investing to make money. You're investing to make a return. You're not investing to get your money back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so you're investing. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So run me through some of the fine print or some of the things, the stipulation in terms of the program here.
As in
Well, I think you mentioned it. I think like 9 months. You get both agreements.
Yes.
9 months before you get to choose.
Yeah. You get to
Right. So
decide
we give
which
you a
one.
9-month notice, and then you get to decide if you're doing the buyback or the rent back.
Yeah.
You don't get both at that point.
Yeah.
If you don't say anything, then it automatically defaults to the rent back.
To the rental, yeah.
Right. And then let's say you went with the rent back, you complete on the unit. Now, the beauty about that rent back too is you can take that agreement
Yeah.
to the bank.
Yeah. and
Literally.
here you go.
Take it to the bank.
Yep.
And be like, I'm going to be making this much on it. And that's going to give you a much better chance of getting approved for that mortgage
Yeah.
than a regular rental, because they're going to have to look at it and they're going to have to underwrite it at the guaranteed rental rate.
Yeah, because there's a contract in place. So
Because
yeah.
there's a contract in place,
Yeah.
right?
Another thing we thought out, right?
Yeah, right? And so that's awesome. So then it completes. Let's say I went with the buyback. I complete. I look at the unit. I say, all right, nope, I want you guys to buy back. Then we've got 9 months or 90 days
90 days, yeah.
to find a buyer for it.
Yes.
And if we can't find a buyer for it, we'll buy it
Yeah.
at the full contract price. If we
Yeah.
find a buyer for less, we'll pay the difference
Yeah.
at the full contract price.
Yes.
And if it's the rent back, then we have 90 days to find a tenant, or the property management company has 90 days to find a tenant. And if they find a tenant within 90 days, that's when the 24 months start.
Yes.
And if they don't find a tenant within the 90 days, 24 months start.
Yeah, there was always loopholes that people find. So one of them, someone asked me, hey, okay, well, I want the rent back. I said, okay, perfect. But what if I want to live in it?
what if I rent it to myself?
Yeah, so I can do that, right? No, that's not how it works. The rental management company will find someone for you, like,
Arm's length tenant.
Yes.
Not your cousin, not your
Yes.
brother's cousin or aunt that's gonna rent it for $1.
Yeah.
I think that's.
But it was
that's,
I thought it was a pretty good idea.
yeah.
I would think of that too. Like, yeah, why not?
And it is an arm's length property management. It's not Allure Ventures. We're not making money off of it.
Yeah.
We're hiring a different property management. They're charging the regular property management fees. I think it's like 10% a
Yeah,
month.
the standard.
Yeah, the standard stuff.
Yep.
Half a month's rent to try to find a tenant every time.
Yeah.
At the first time. But that's all there. And it's literally the buyer and the property management. We don't get involved in any of that.
Yeah.
All we do is every month the property manager says, I've collected X.
Yeah.
You need to pay me Y in order to top it up to $6,250 a month.
Yeah.
And we just pay that every month.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Simple.
Yeah. For the realtors out there that say they're for their clients, but just want to make some money. I know it's a little tough world out there, but you get the 15% in, you get 100% of your commission.
Well, let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
there's a third part of the Allure Promise that's designed for realtors.
Yes.
And it's designed because, I think it's a tough market out there. Yeah, I think some realtors are hurting, but I also think it's a way to show confidence. A lot of these realtors are not confident that a project is actually going to go through.
Fair. Yeah.
They're not confident it's gonna finish. And
Yes.
so they're like, I'm gonna do all this work. I'm gonna convince my buyer. I'm gonna get them not to buy something else and buy in here. And then it's not gonna go through and I get paid nothing,
Yeah.
right? And so what did we do in terms of the third part of the Allure Promise to show them and give them a level of confidence that we are moving forward?
Basically, we're letting them know once the 15% deposit is in, you will get 100% of your commission, no clawbacks, within 30 days.
Wait a minute. So instead of waiting 3 years for their commission, they
Yeah.
get it within 30 days of all the deposits in?
Yeah.
And how much is the commission?
3% flat.
So they're gonna get 3%.
Yeah.
What if 3 years from now, 3.5 years from now, the building's ready, their client doesn't complete?
Doesn't matter. We're not, no clawback.
What if the client does the buyback?
No clawback, everything. It's done right there. Once we get that 15% in, you will get a check.
I fought against that a little bit.
Why?
Okay. Don't get me wrong. I love the confidence that it gives, and that's what it's designed to do, is to tell their agents that, hey, we are so confident this project's going to be done. We're paying you a commission.
Yeah.
I just fought against it because, like, these realtors are going to take their 3%, and some of them are going to be like, all right.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
meeting. I remember
Adios.
that meeting.
Adios.
Yeah.
Your problem to deal with now.
Yeah.
No, but I think I'm teasing. Most realtors, I think, are pretty good when it comes to that. And it is designed to give them confidence. It's designed to say, look, we believe in our product and we know your client's going to love it.
Yeah. I think another thing that when people walk in, obviously just because of the market, things that have happened, people are very uncertain. So we're trying to bring positivity back into it. And a couple people came in and they're like, well, how do we know that you guys are starting?
Oh.
Yeah, I said.
Right? Because there's a lot of people right now that have their deposits tied up in projects.
Yes.
And have been waiting years for that project to start and they haven't even dug ground yet.
Yeah. So,
Or they haven't even gotten construction financing yet because they haven't sold enough.
Yeah. So I tell them, I said, you should go drive by the site. I said, there's already trailers there. So we're starting. This month we're starting. And they're like, no way. I said, yeah, we're starting. And I said, right now people will come in. Well, why won't I go buy the 1,000 condos that are on the market?
Sure.
For a cheaper price, whatever you want to call it. I said, yeah, you should. Go check out all of the other sales centers. Any buyer that walks in here, I will encourage them to go check all of our partners that are in this community. Go check them out. I will give them the sales address. Like, here it is. Please go check. It's fair to help people out in the community.
Well, they'd be doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you know, we tell, like, they're not just coming in to look at ours. They're probably looking at every other development.
Yeah.
And I don't think that anything can hold a candle to the location, the quality of the stuff, and our offering. But also, to your point, you're going to mention, what about those projects?
They are probably not going to start.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. Like, I hope they do, just because I want the community, I want city to grow. So I really hope they do. But as of now, I could probably just think of us and maybe one other tower that is going to start soon.
That's actually going to get their construction financing and start this year.
Yeah, and so in fast forward 3 years, at that time, yes, right now you think you're competing with those 1,000 units. You're not. They're going to go. Those units are going to sell, or someone is going to sell it at a lower price, higher price, whatever you want. They're going to go. In 3 years, you will literally just have your unit, our tower, and another possible building that you're competing with. And if you want to sell,
right, because nothing new is going to probably start for the next year or two.
Yeah.
And then those take 3-4 years to build out.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get to a point where the current inventory is going to all get absorbed.
Yeah.
And there's going to be very little new inventory hitting the market in about 3-4 years.
Yeah. And even if you're pushing it with the rental to 5 years.
Yeah. Well, 8. Because
8
you could
years.
take that extra cash. Like I said, I would invest that extra cash back into the unit to subsidize another 2 years worth of rent.
Yeah.
You got $2,000 there.
Yeah. Yeah. But even resale, if you want to say, hey, I just want to make that 24 months, I want to make that money and I want to sell it.
Right.
I don't think you'll have the problems or the situation we're in today, because there was multiple buildings completing. We saw that at the Grand. We were thankful enough that I think we had about a 92-93% completion rate.
No. 98, 99.
98. Wow, we were higher.
98,
okay.
99.
Okay.
We had a almost 100% completion rate on our building. It took hard work.
Oh yeah.
It took some months. Some people were in a bind. Sometimes no fault of their own. Somebody passed away, etc. And that always happens.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're buying 3-4 years out, life changes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why the buyback was there. The buyback is to cover those kind of situations.
Yeah.
Right. The rent back advantage. That's what investors should be flocking to us for. Yeah. Because they look at it and the return on investment, the actual capital outlay, the 150,000, let's say you're putting up, or the 100,000 you're putting up, the return on that is higher than almost anything out there, and you still get the real estate asset with it.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Like, people are shocked when we tell them. It's just now, I think the market's kind of at a place where people just are always getting these incentives, and like most of the realtors are ignoring.
Yeah.
I ignore a lot of them too. So okay, man, there's another one. But like, there's people that we have our connections with like the A-list realtors for Allure. Those people are people that have helped us with the grant, or people that have sold a lot of units either in this building, Skyliving, or in the grant. So reach out to them, and it takes just that extra mile again, just to explain
the conversation to explain it.
Yeah, like you take that extra 5-10 rather than that hot market where you didn't even have to say a word. This time it's, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And then like you explain numbers, and they're like, no way. Like, I called a realtor probably last week, and he's also my really good friend. I said, hey, just want to reach out because I'm calling you as a friend, not as a realtor. He's like, what do you mean? I said, if any of my friends want to make an investment, because we're around that age, so we want to make investments. I said, this is it. I said, there was phase 1, there was phase 2, and people got some good deals at that time. But it wasn't where I can come to you and say, hey, I know you have this much money laying around, you should do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, explain it. Explained it. I said, this is for you to buy a unit. It's not even for your clients. I'm at the point where I don't even care if your clients come in. This is me telling you, hey, as a friend, I think you should do it. And they're like, wow, okay. Is it okay if I share it with 3 people or 4 people that they work with in a team? I said, sure, why not? If you have any questions, let me know. Literally 5 minutes later, it's like a conference call. Hey, Harlene, can we put you on speaker? I said, sure. They have these questions. Can you answer these questions? And then they're like, yeah, how many more units? I said, there's X amount of units. It can end tomorrow. It can end in a week. But that's basically all it's for. That's the only catch. So, people get a little bit excited. It's a little harder to explain it now. You got to take that time out. Yeah. And I think that's what we've been working on too. How do we get points out there.
Yeah.
How do we sell it to a realtor, but give them those points to say, hey, this is how you say it to your client.
Yeah, empower them with the proper information so they can tell and inform their clients about the offering, because there's nothing else out there that's better than this.
Yeah, or even like how to get the client to understand, because a client's gonna sit at a dinner table and their family is gonna be like, are you crazy?
Right.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? But one believes in it. It happened over the weekend, actually. I think it was a couple of your clients that came in, brought one in. Oh, okay, this is cool. Can I bring another few in? And then after those few said, wow, okay, this is real. It was 4 deals there. Just because, hey, he did it. Oh, I trust him. And then it was more rather than supporting him and actually thinking they're making money as well.
Yeah.
Rather than, are you dumb?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Because anybody that does the numbers and actually looks at it and is looking to invest in real estate right now, invest in pre-sales, this makes complete sense.
Yeah. Even like my friend's parents, I reached out a few times. I was at a basketball tournament. Rather than watching the game, I spent 15-20 minutes explaining to my friend's dad, because I said, hey, like, I know you're looking to invest. Why don't you buy a unit Skyliving? Harlene, I don't think I should. It's okay, fair enough. Why? Because the market's not there. So what does that mean? What do you mean? The market's not there. I said, no, but like, what does that mean to you? I said, when people are buying stocks, when do they buy stocks?
Right.
He's like, at the low. I said, so why wouldn't you buy real estate when supposedly it's at its low?
Right.
No, it's gonna go lower. I said, but this is a pre-sale. He said, no. I said, it's a pre-sale. Okay, I said, what if I tell you 24 months, you don't have to pay anything for it? Then he was like, wait, what? So then I did the calculation to him. Then he's like, okay, I gotta send this to my friends. I said, perfect. So it's that extra conversation you just have to have.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, anything else people should know?
We're getting pretty close to our number there. So
I'm gonna try to convince ownership to extend it.
yeah.
I'm gonna do my best. I don't know if they'll listen to me or not, but I think the momentum is building.
Yeah.
I think the momentum is just starting, like with all the news coverage we've been getting, all the national coverage we've been getting.
Yeah.
All the realtors that are starting to get it now and starting to talk to their clients. I mean, it's been phenomenal, and I think it's like a snowball. It's just starting to roll downhill.
Oh yeah.
And it's starting to build up momentum. So I want to try to convince ownership to continue the program a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And let's see how I do with it. But you're right. It is for a limited time right now. If people have any questions about it, come in, call us, look online, come into the presentation center and learn all about it. It is not a bait and switch. It is not a gimmick. It is not a short-term incentive. This is an actual offering that you can get behind and your clients can get behind, and it'll actually make your clients a decent ROI in a market filled with uncertainty.